There's a guy named Marcus from Ohio. He spent 10 years in a job he hated, making decent money, sure, but every morning felt like dragging a dead weight. One day, his kid asked him, "Dad, why do you look sad every morning before work?" That question hit him like a truck, because he realized he'd been teaching his son how to give up before even trying. That night, Marcus sat alone in his garage. He wrote one sentence on a notepad: "I'm done living for other people's expectations," and for the first time, he meant it. He started getting up at 5 a.m., not because Instagram said it was cool, but because it was his hour, the only hour that belonged completely to him. He used it to study, to plan, to train his mind like an athlete. Fast forward 2 years, Marcus left that job. Now he runs his own fitness coaching business from home, spends time with his family, and most importantly, he's proud when his son watches him work. That's the power of a focused mind. Not a mind filled with noise, doubts, or opinions, but a mind that knows what it wants and locks in. Listen, you don't need to know everything. You just need to know what you stand for. And once you know that, your focus becomes your weapon. The world wants to distract you, your phone, your friends, the endless scroll of success stories that make you feel behind. But remember, distraction is the enemy of greatness. You can't be focused when you're busy comparing. You can't be disciplined when you're chasing 10 different things that don't belong to you. Focus is saying no to the noise so you can say yes to your purpose. So today, I want you to draw a line in the sand. From this moment forward, you're done living for others. You're done chasing approval. You're done apologizing for wanting more. You've got one life, one shot, and it's time to take it back. Let's talk about focus. Everybody says they want success. Everybody talks about goals. But when it comes time to lock in, they can't even stay off their phone for 5 minutes. You say you want to change your life, but are your habits aligned with that desire? Because focus isn't just about attention. It's about alignment. It's about building habits that reinforce who you're becoming, not who you were yesterday. Here's the truth. Your life right now is the sum of your daily habits. Not your dreams, not your goals, your habits. You can talk about success all you want, but if you wake up late, procrastinate, scroll for hours, and complain about the system, you're training your brain to lose. Let me give you a story. There's a woman named Alyssa from Texas. She used to be the kind of person who'd start things and never finish. She had a dozen notebooks filled with plans, diet plans, business ideas, motivational quotes, but no execution. Until one morning, she decided to do something different. She made a rule. I'm going to win the morning before the world even wakes up. So she set her alarm for 4045 a.m. The first few days were brutal. Her body screamed to go back to bed. Her mind said, "Why are you doing this?" But she kept showing up. She'd brew coffee, open her notebook, and spend just 20 minutes learning something new every single morning. No distractions, no social media, just quiet focus. 30 days later, her mind was sharper. 60 days later, she launched a small Etsy business. A year later, she quit her job and built something of her own. Not because she was smarter than anyone else, but because she learned the secret. Motivation gets you started. Discipline keeps you going when you don't feel like it. And focus. Focus turns your effort into impact. You want to change your life? Stop asking for the perfect plan and start working the one you've got. Here's how to build the power of a focused mind. Step 1. Create a non-negotiable routine. Wake up and give your first hour to yourself. Not your phone, not the news, not the world. Your morning determines your momentum. Step 2. Eliminate mental clutter. Too many people wake up and carry yesterday's mistakes into today. Let it go. You can't drive forward while staring at the rearview mirror. Step 3. Focus on small, consistent actions. You don't need to run a marathon today. Just take one powerful step. Drink water. Read 10 pages. Do 10 push-ups. Write 1 paragraph. Tiny steps repeated daily lead to unstoppable progress. And here's something nobody tells you. When your mind starts to focus, your world will start to shift. You'll notice you stop reacting to everything. You'll stop wasting energy on gossip, comparison, or negativity. You'll stop caring what people think. Because when your purpose is clear, your peace becomes sacred. Remember, you're not lazy. You're just distracted. You're not unmotivated. You're unfocused. And focus can be trained, just like a muscle. Every time you choose discipline over distraction, you're strengthening it. Every time you choose purpose over comfort, you're rewiring your brain for success. The greatest athletes, entrepreneurs, and leaders, they're not superhuman. They just build systems that make focus automatic. When LeBron trains, he's not thinking, "Do I feel like it today?" He's already decided. His habits handle the rest. That's how champions think. They don't negotiate with their goals, they commit to them. But you can't build that kind of focus while living for others. You can't sharpen your mind when it's being pulled in 10 different directions by people who don't share your vision. So you got to protect your energy like your life depends on it. Because it does. Say no to things that don't serve your purpose. Say no to people who drain your focus. Say no to habits that keep you small. Every no to distraction is a yes to your destiny. You'll start to see yourself differently. You'll walk taller, think clearer, move faster, because you'll finally realize you were never behind, you were just unfocused. In the final part, we're going to talk about turning that focus into unstoppable momentum, how to transform consistent action into massive results, and how to stay locked in even when life hits hard. You've learned how to focus. You've built discipline through small habits. But now, it's time to turn that focus into momentum. Because success doesn't come from one big move. It comes from thousands of small, deliberate steps that compound over time. You see, most people stop right before the breakthrough. They give up when it gets uncomfortable. They back down the moment it's not easy anymore. But you're not most people. Let me tell you something powerful. Momentum is built in silence. It's not built when the crowd's cheering. It's built in those dark, quiet hours when nobody's watching. When you're tired, but you show up anyway. When you failed, but you try again. When you hear that little voice saying, "Maybe this isn't for you," and you answer back, "Watch me." There's a young man named Devin from Chicago. He grew up in a tough neighborhood. Violence, pressure, temptation, everywhere. People told him he'd never make it out. But Devin made a choice. Every morning before sunrise, he'd run 3 miles. Not for clout, not for Instagram. He ran to remind himself that he could outrun his past. He started studying after work, 2 hours every night. He built habits nobody saw. And 5 years later, he walked across the stage at his college graduation. People called him lucky. But luck had nothing to do with it. He built his own luck, brick by brick, habit by habit, focus by focus. That's what momentum looks like. It's when the small things you do every day start working together in your favor. It's when your routine starts to feel like your armor. And let me tell you, once you taste progress, there's no going back. Once you start winning small battles daily, your confidence becomes unshakable. You stop chasing people's approval. You stop apologizing for your ambition. Because now, you're living life on your terms. But here's the real test. What happens when life hits? When you lose the job? When someone betrays you? When your plan falls apart? Do you fold? Or do you refocus? Because life will test your focus. That's guaranteed. But every setback is just feedback. Every challenge is a chance to level up your discipline. When everything falls apart, go back to your habits. Go back to your foundation. That's your anchor. That's your control. When your emotions try to take over, breathe. When your doubts get loud, move. Anyway, when the world tells you to give up, remind yourself why you started. You didn't come this far to quit now. You didn't fight through the noise, the fear, and the pressure just to end up where you began. So, listen, it's time to take your life back. It's time to stop performing for people who don't even clap for you. It's time to stop living for opinions that won't pay your bills, won't chase your dreams, won't walk your path. You've got to lock in on what matters. Every morning, recommit. Every night, reflect. Every day, take one more step toward your purpose. That's the formula. That's how you change your life. And maybe nobody will understand you at first. That's okay. Greatness always looks crazy before it makes sense. When you start working while others sleep, people will call you obsessed. When you start saying no to parties, distractions, and drama, they'll call you arrogant. Let them talk, because in a few years, they'll call you successful. Remember this. You don't need permission to be great. You don't need validation to focus. You just need the courage to start and the discipline to keep going. Your life will change the moment you stop living for others and start living for the person you were meant to become. So stop waiting. Stop doubting. Stop hiding behind excuses. It's time to move. It's time to focus. It's time to become unstoppable. Because the truth is, nobody's coming to save you. It's your turn, your dream, your responsibility. So get up tomorrow and attack the day with laser focus. Build your habits like your life depends on them, because it does. Discipline, consistency, belief, those are your superpowers. And remember, you don't have to do everything at once. Just one step today. One more tomorrow. Keep stacking those wins, because one day you'll look back and realize that version of you who was lost, confused, and living for everyone else, they're gone. You've outgrown them. Now you're the one people look up to. Now you're the example. Now you're proof that focus, habits, and self-belief can rebuild an entire life. If this message spoke to you, don't keep it to yourself. Share it with someone who needs to hear it today. And remember, don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe.